morning students, welcome to physics class. Students, know that education is a passport to our future. Now let us recall the previous class. In the previous class we have learnt about potential difference, which is the work done in bringing a unit positive charge from one point to another point in a circuit. Its unit is volt and voltmeter is the instrument to measure the potential difference. Then we have learnt about resistance. Resistance is the opposition offered by the component to the flow of current in a circuit. Two types of resistors, fixed resistor and variable resistor. Then we have learnt about the electrical circuit diagram and also the components in the electrical circuit. They are the cell, switch, then the battery, then we have the resistance or the load, ammeter, voltmeter. So different symbols we have learned. In today's class, we are going to learn about the different types of electrical circuits. There are two types of electrical circuits. The one is series circuit. The next one is parallel circuit. There are two types of electrical circuit, series circuit and parallel circuit. Now let us learn series circuit. So this is the series circuit. Here we have two resistance. Instead of this we can connect two bulbs also, and here the bulbs are connected to the battery, and also here we have a switch. The switch is in the open condition. In a series circuit, the components will be connected one after the another so as to form a loop. So it follows a single pathway for the electric charges to flow. So a single pathway for the electric charges to flow. See here, see this one terminal is connected with the other terminal of the battery. Then the next terminal is connected with the switch. The other terminal of the switch is connected with this terminal. And here the terminal of R2 is connected with the other terminal of R1. So it is following a single path, forming a loop, and there is only one path for the flow of electric charges. Because of this reason, whenever you measure the current across this resistance R1, also when you measure the current across R2, and also measure the current across the battery or the electrical source, the current across the individual components will be the same. So in a series circuit, current will be the same at all points. The parallel circuit. In parallel circuit, the components are connected to the main source in two or more loops. So this is a parallel circuit. So we are connecting two components R1 and R2 to the main source, and there are two loops. So here is one loop connected here, and also this load has another one loop to the main source. So there will be multiple branches in a parallel circuit. So in a parallel circuit, if we measure the current across this resistance and also the current across this resistance, the sum of the current in the loads will be equal to the main current. That is, sum of current in the parallel branches or in the parallel loops will be equal to the main current. So the main difference between the series and parallel circuit is that in series circuit, the current at different points in the circuit will be equal to the main current. Whereas in the case of a parallel circuit, the sum of all current in the parallel loops will be equal to the main current. Now let us learn the heating effect of electric current. When current flowing in a circuit is resisted, heat is produced. So when electrons flow in a circuit, it suffers a resistance and work has to be done to overcome this resistance. So whenever work is done, a heat energy is produced. This conversion of electrical energy into heat energy is called as Joule heating. Joule heating. So what is Joule heating? Joule heating is the conversion of electrical energy into heat energy. So this principle, this Joule heating effect is the principle of normally all electrical appliances like iron box, electric toaster, the induction stove. So these appliances consist of the heating element. Especially the heating element is made of nichrome. So when electrical energy is supplied, this electrical energy will be resisted in the circuit which produce heat energy. So here the electrical energy is converted into heat energy and this heat energy is used by the appliances for its working. And also suppose if you consider a bulb, the bulb glows. And how is the bulb glowing? The bulb consists of a filament. Normally we have the tungsten filament which acts as a resistor. So this tungsten filament will be heated to a high temperature and to a particular temperature when it is heated, the bulb starts glowing. So here the electrical energy is converted into heat energy and so the bulb glows. So this is the heating effect of the electric current. Now let us learn the magnetic effect of electric current. A wire or a current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field around it perpendicular to the direction of flow of a current. This is called the magnetic effect of electric current. So what is the magnetic effect? A coil or a conductor carrying current produces a magnetic field perpendicular to the direction of current. So this is the magnetic effect of electric current. Now this is if I is the direction of the current, this will be the direction of the magnetic field. That is, the magnetic field is perpendicular to the direction of the electric current. And this magnetic effect is given by Oersted by means of the right hand thumb rule. Oersted, this is given by the scientist named Oersted, given by the right hand thumb rule. It means that if thumb represents the direction of the current, then the other fingers represents the direction of the magnetic field which is perpendicular to that of the electric current. So this is the magnetic effect of electric current. Learn the chemical effect of electric current. Here you consider a beaker. A beaker consists of copper sulfate solution. Copper sulfate solution, and take two rods. This is the carbon rod, and this is a copper rod. And the carbon rod is connected to the negative terminal of a battery, and the copper rod is connected to the positive terminal of a battery. So when the rods are connected to the battery, chemical effect happens. So as a result of a chemical effect, the copper gets deposited in the carbon rod. Due to the chemical effect, the copper gets deposited in the carbon rod, and this process is called as electroplating. This process is called as electroplating, which is the chemical effect of the electric current. So when we have a carbon rod is connected to the negative terminal and the copper rod is connected to the positive terminal of the batteries, current flows through the solution, and because of the current flowing through the solution, it produces chemical effect, and so the copper gets deposited in the carbon rod, and this process is called as electroplating. The process of current flowing in a solution is called as electrolysis. So what is electrolysis? Electrolysis is the process of current flowing through a solution, and the solution is called as the electrolyte. And the solution is called as the electrolyte, and here the copper sulfate solution is the electrolyte. So this is a best example for the chemical effect of electric current. Here the carbon rod acts as the cathode, and the copper rod acts as the anode. This demonstrates the chemical effect of electric current. So I have taken a battery. The terminals of the battery are connected with carbon rods. Now I have taken a beaker of water. Now dip the carbon rods in the solution. Now to the water add some common salt, that is sodium chloride. Now the solution is a sodium chloride solution, which is an electrolyte. So now the current passes through the electrolyte, and the hydrogen and oxygen molecules get dissociated and gets deposited in the carbon rod. Hope you could see the bubbles getting deposited in the carbon rod. So this is the experiment for the chemical effect of electric current. Now let us learn synaptic signals. So what are synaptic signals? Extremely weak electric signals are produced in our human body due to the movement of charged particles, and these signals are called as the synaptic signals by means of electrochemical process. Electrochemical process. So extremely weak signals are produced in our body, and these signals are called as the synaptic signals. These synaptic signals travel from our brain to the other organs by means of the nervous system. So in today's class we have learnt about series and parallel circuit. In series circuit the components are connected one after the another, and in the parallel circuit the components are connected in two or more loops. Next we have learnt the effect of electric current, that is the heating effect, magnetic effect and chemical effect. So in heating effect the electrical energy is converted into heat energy, and this is called Joule heating. Next is the chemical effect. So the process of conduction of electric current in a solution is called as the electrolysis, and the solution is called as the electrolyte. Then the magnetic effect, a wire or a current carrying conductor develops a magnetic field around it perpendicular to the direction of flow of electric current. And this is proved by the Oersted experiment and also by the right hand thumb rule. Thank you, students.